Hi, I'm Holly, and this is my tutorial of how to use Blender video editing software. It's very easy to use and free to use. First thing you want to do is open video editing when you get to this page. If you've used video editing softwares before, you might recognize this page. If not, this is your video preview section. You can also change it to add another sequencer or just your video, which you can also zoom in and drag to a different position. Over here is where you would find your clips. Just go through your files until you find them. Down here is where you would drag clip, and then it will build a proxy like this, which is loading the clip into your video. You will notice that it will add a BL proxy file into this file. Don't delete this because it will have to build the proxy for the clip over and over again if you do. The blue section is the video part of the clip, and the green one is audio, which you can see if you press display waveform. This side is where you can edit anything you want on the clip. You can scale it, crop it, color anything, and you can do the same with the audio. Then up here is your whole video settings. The resolution you only want to change if you want to change it to a mobile video. You'll just reverse the numbers and then it's all set to go on a phone, which you can also scale or crop it so it will fit the entire screen of a phone instead. We're going to do regular sized. Like so. Next thing you want to do is change your frame rate based on what your video's frame rate is. The majority of my clips run about 30 frames per second, so we're going to set that as the default. Next, go down to output. At the moment, the rendered video is going to be saved into a temporary file, which will be hard to find. So open the file and save it to somewhere you can find it. You want to make sure your file format is a FFmpeg video. The default is usually a PNG, which would not upload to YouTube, obviously because it's a picture. Make sure the colour is set to RGB, then open encoding, scroll all the way down to audio and make sure it's not set to no audio, because that seems to be the default, which is rather annoying. And now we can save these settings. I like to save this as template settings because then you don't have to edit it for every single one. But the 3-point version of Blender has updated this, so it sets it to your preferred settings rather than their default ones. The next thing we want to do is add and edit our clips. Over here is where you find your clips. We already have one, so let's go ahead and add another one. And wait for it to build the proxy and display the waveform so you can see the audio. Once it's loaded in, you'll notice that only this section is in grey. And if you were to press play, it would only play this part. So we want to view the whole thing, so we go to this frame, which you'll see here. This is always the current frame you are on. So we have the video starting at 1, and we want it to end right here. Now we've changed the section and we should be able to play the whole lot. I'm just gonna adjust the volume so it's not so loud. Go to the beginning and is that a locker? Oh no, it's the cage thingy. But we might want to split clips or clip them slightly. So go to where you want to cut it, I think right here. So press the top clip, shift, click the bottom clip, and then you're going to want to press K on your keyboard, and you can see that it's been split. So I'm going to get rid of those ones by pressing delete. I'm going to move these ones all the way to frame 1, which will be easier with the mouse. That's fine. And now we have a better beginning to it. Like so. And you can clip the video in another place. Just scroll it to where you want to clip it. Move this one out the way so I can see this. Right here. Top click, shift, click the bottom one and press K. Then shift click and delete the section you don't want. And that's how you split clips. Now to add transitions and fades to clips. So I want right here, I'm going to add this part of the video. And we're going to do a transition first, which you want to overlap, otherwise it won't work. So click the first clip first, then shift click, right click, add transition and press wipe. Now you see another box up here. You can see the transition. First thing I always do is change the blur width to 1000. We'll leave the angle like that because then the smoke is going down like that. And now you've made your first beautiful transition. Like magic. You can also make the audio fade from current frame, and then it will start fading from here. If you look at the volume bar over here, it starts getting quieter and quieter as the new clip comes in. We do the same for that one. I'm going to do fade to current frame for the beginning. And then it slowly gets louder. Like magic! Next, I'm going to show you how to add text to videos. Let's grab random video, display waveform and wait for the proxies to build. And now we can add text. I don't know what kind of text you'd want to add. Subtitles are usually really handy. So if we make this quieter, and then I want to start about here, press Shift A, and there is the text right there. It appears as a purple box that you can see here. If you grab one end of it, you can make it longer. Grab the other end, make it longer that way. But to edit the text, it's always over here. This is where you change it. Like this. And then here is our fonts. Let's go for this one. I think I used that one before. Let's make it massive. Keep it white. You can add shadows and a box in case it's on like a hard to read background. This is the position of the text. So I want to move it up slightly and down a little bit so it doesn't cover the camera. Let's just set it to fade in and out by right clicking on it. Yes, I'm going. Hey! Magic text. You can add more text over the top of it. Just press Shift A again. Like that. And you can edit it the same settings as this one or not. Just move it to wherever you want it. Magic. Next, I'm going to show you how to overlay clips on top of other clips. This is very easy to do. To have your clip, and there's the audio obviously, I want to use this same clip to overlay, so Control C, Control V, an exact copy of it. First thing you want to do is go in the blend and make it alpha over. And then I'm going to crop it. Yeah, and I've cropped the camera. You can see by the white outlines that the camera is cropped. And now I want to scale it to make it bigger. We'll center it in a minute. By this one. Right in the middle somewhere. And now we've scaled the camera and set its origin in the corner here, so it'll be perfectly in sync with our video. You can just see the camera bigger than you could before, like that. You can do this with overlays and other videos. You can have one playing while this one is playing. Just remember to set it alpha over, otherwise you won't be able to see it. You can check the progress of your video anytime. This one will jump you to the start of where your frame starts, and then you'll only be able to play what is in the light grey section. So if you only want to watch like a small bit, set the frames to that, and then you'll be able to watch all this part and it will just keep repeating it.
It sounds like our kind of fight. It sounds like our kind of fight.
Like so. Now if we want to render the whole thing, you're going to have to select the first frame, which is frame 1. You can't do -1, so don't put it back there. And then find your end frame. Oh, it's a 9. And type that in. And now it will render everything in this box. Just go render animation, and you will see it begin rendering through the video, and the bar will progress through. Don't actually render that, thank you. And then you can find your rendered video and watch it wherever you saved it. Make necessary changes or whatever you want to do. And that's it, really. The basics of Blender with Holly.